The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience. Today we are previewing the 2019 PGA season with the 10 players we are most excited about to watch, to bet on, to just from an interest perspective. I'm intrigued to watch this player, to see how he does during the season. I want to let everyone out there know that there are some giveaways to be had. Number one, give the episode a like. Smash that like button. Leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section and tell me the 3 players that you are most excited to watch in 2019. If you do that, you're in a draw for $20 DK. The other draws, if you find this show on social and you retweet it, not quote tweet it, because then you're disqualified. If you retweet it or share it on Facebook, then reply with either the hashtag GUP or the hashtag Fantasy National, you are in one of 2 draws. You can just do it twice if you really want to, or as many times as you like. Don't forget those hashtags, though. Hashtag GUP, hashtag Fantasy National. One will be for a free entry into the 2019 One and Done from gupscorner.com, which you can just go register for right now if you want to. That's what I'll be doing. That's what Jeff will be doing. Or you can get your hands on the very valuable year-long membership to FantasyNational.com. Members last year won $2.3 million on DraftKings alone. That we just saw, Jeff. So it's very, very good to get yourself a membership. I myself was very profitable by using Fantasy National. Big fan of Fantasy National, as I'm sure everyone who uses it in One Money are.
It's a lot of Sunday nights, a lot of people winning money.
A lot of screenshots. Living the screenshot life when you're with Fantasy National. So you can just go get yourself a membership too if you had some extra cash in the holiday season. A yearly membership's $200, which I think is the equivalent of like $4 per week in terms of like you actually playing DFS golf. So if you're playing more than like $10 a week on DraftKings, you might want to consider getting it. Makes building lineups pretty easy and doing all the research pretty easy. But the 10 players that we are excited about for the year. Do you want to talk about the guys that didn't make the list? Periphery guys?
Because we could have like crossover. So,
I got 3 guys in general who I'm not going to, because I know that you probably have Cantlay on your list, but I have Bubba and Spawn. Just 2 guys I enjoy watching. I'm just a big fan of JJ Spawn. He always lets me down. He's more of a top 10 bet than an outright bet. But here are the guys that didn't make my list. The last cuts. I got Joaquin Niemann, did not make it. Killa Keith Mitchell did not make it, who I really like. I think he wins this year somewhere. Tyrrell Hatton didn't make it for me. Hideki Matsuyama did not make it for me. And Ho-Sung Choi did not make it for me. But I do want to see him in a tournament this year. Absolutely. I recommend Phoenix. Phoenix would be the ultimate spot for him and his insane swing to come.
I took some liberties because I might have tried to avoid putting a guy that I know you had on because it will still allow us to talk about them and allow me to put on a different guy. And like most tests throughout my life, I cheated.
Okay.
So I, take some liberties on myself. But
so
really for me...
You're like one of those people when I ask, hey, what's the best shot of the year? And they're like, oh, here are my 5 favorite shots. No, you pick one.
No.
Your favorite shot. So you have like 15 people on your top 10 list.
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
I just have some things are together.
Like when you listed all the Brits as one player last year?
Last year. And now there's just from 3, there's 2 of them. They're still together though.
Okay.
That's all.
You want to start at number 10?
Well, my 10 just made your miss out, and I'm not going to lie. I added to my 10 because I know who your 10 is, and I felt like this can allow us to talk about another name. Okay. Even though I'm really excited about your 10.
Who's your number 10?
Hideki Matsuyama.
Okay.
Kind of alluded to it on the other show, but
yeah,
I'm excited to.
If people want to check that out, you can go hit in the comment section in the description of this. The preview for the year is up already. We talk majors, best of 2018. I recommend going to watch that, downloading it and liking it as well.
I'm just excited about Hideki. If you look at some of maybe the early major lines, he really is a forgotten soul. Yes, he hasn't won a major, so we'd be asking him to win, big tournaments. But he was hurt all of last year with a wrist injury, obviously a more significant one than Brooks Koepka was hobbled by, as results would show. But I think there's so much, I guess you could say this with a lot of guys, but I think Hideki's numbers, I'm intrigued to watch him, and I'm intrigued to see his early season betting market as so many new great players have sort of gone to the forefront.
We talked about his odds at all of the majors on the previous show, but he's not getting disrespected by the market, which is strange because there's a lot of guys that he's still like 30-1, 33-1 to win all these majors. I would have thought he would have dropped to like 50 at this point because he hasn't been good in ages.
He's still, when it's all said and done, he is still one of the premier ball strikers on the planet. And I'm really excited to see him hopefully healthy and returning.
Okay,
because he's got to captain that President's Cup team.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
It's a President's Cup year, even though I'm wearing my Ryder Cup shirt. Even though USA lost, still the nicest shirt in the collection. JT was wearing it for most of the event.
My number 10. You ready? Probably going to win at least 2 majors this year?
Probably.
That's where the smart money's at?
Yeah.
The comeback season for our May man. Oh, the comeback has already begun for Danny Willett.
Incredible. Was on my list. I knew you once you sort of came to light you had him. You took him off, but I'm super hyped just to see him be a normal human. He's a soft spot guy on this show. So I'm so happy to see him win. And he's just a normal golfer again. He's not like peak Willett, but he's not injured bottom of the barrel guy. So it's exciting.
He can get everything back. Like if people, I mean, do people forget how good he was during that stretch? And then because he fell off the face of the earth after winning the Masters? You want him at grinder tournaments, though. You always do. You don't want him where he's a lot like Brendan Grayson that way.
Yeah.
Although Grace is kind of falling off.
He's not going to win the birdie party.
Yeah, he
can't keep up.
He's not going to walk into Career Builder and win.
Yeah. He's not going to go. Yeah, he's not ever going to be on a 59 watch.
But if you can win the tournament like -8, so that makes him live for the Open and U.S. Open this year, I think. And maybe even Bethpage, to tell you the truth, if that plays tough. That he should
You can only pick 2 of them.
Yeah, you can only pick. Well, he's going to win at least 2.
Yeah.
So maybe you can bet him at all 3. His odds have started to crumble back up, though. I actually think, despite being a Masters champion, he is the least likely candidate to win the Masters of all the 4. It's got to play hard.
Do you want to know the annoying thing is when he was first gaining form on the book that I had access to, I wanted to bet him before he had won. Like I wanted to see what the number was. I was intrigued to make the bet because form was coming. He wasn't even listed. Like they had names. They didn't have everybody, but they sort of hadn't glad-handed your past champions.
Like Immelman wasn't available. Mike Weir.
And the second that he won, he shows up on the sheet at like 60. And he said, it's not unbettable. I mean, you just sort of alluded to it. The Masters feels like the least likely one he would win this year, just how the majors are set up.
Unless it's a super windy Masters like the year that he won. That would be his chance, I think.
But great to see him back. I'm not sure what his schedule commitments will be, whether, he's going to be a European guy or a PGA guy or
is he just going to wear the green?
Both.
Remember when he was just wearing the green jacket everywhere? That was great.
Well, that was more like Sergio. Was Danny doing that?
Danny was doing it too. He did like an England tour just wearing the green jacket.
Well, Sergio
everywhere.
like legended it, like with his wedding and shit.
And maybe is there going to be a post-Masters curse for Patrick Reed? Because Sergio's been brutal since he won the Masters. And so is Danny Willett.
No?
It's
winning the Tournament of Champions.
I suppose that's true then. we're locked into that, Patrick Reed?
I'll be betting him, yeah.
All right, so
because he shows up at a hit and giggle ready to kick your ass.
Oh yeah, he's not showing up to lose.
Your pick 2, your early pick 2 there I like, but okay, we'll move on.
Number 9 on your list.
Anytime a man matches his putter handle to his shirt, and now he's becoming a full-time PGA Tour player, Kiradesh Aphibarnrat. I don't know which way it's going to go, but I'm excited to see it. I'm really excited, and the SIG factor's up.
The SIG factor's out. He's using a vape now. Maybe he'll go back on SIGs now that you got cheap SIGs in the States. I don't know if he's cut out to play on the PGA Tour.
He might not be. Because he'll
he
be a little hot.
He doesn't like winning. He only likes winning when he needs a new Porsche.
No, he doesn't even like winning when he needs a new Porsche. My thing with him is once he's like realized he's made enough money this week for the Porsche, he just needs to hold on. And he doesn't want to risk like bogeying 18 and losing 3rd. Like to become first. That's sort of what I've noticed.
Yeah, he's
but I'm still excited.
I love watching him. He's one of the best guys to watch on tour.
And anytime like there's a swaggy, like heavy set guy, I gotta support you out of the gate.
Big on neon colors.
Yeah.
Big on visors, big on neon, big on SIGs.
And he's got like a caricature, like on his shirt, like his logo. I'm in Kirdash. It's PGA Tour season. We bonded at the Honda. It was good
You
times.
and Kirdash?
Yeah.
He plays the Honda every year. Plays the Honda, he plays Bay Hill, then he goes to the Masters. I'm excited to see what he can do. He usually plays well at Bay Hill too. He can put on him. Think he wins this year on the PGA Tour?
He wouldn't be my first pick for like first time winner.
How old is he? I have no idea how old he is.
I don't know.
If he told me he was 47, I would buy it.
I don't know.
My number 9, Jordan Spieth.
See, I felt me adding him would just be like cruel. So I'm happy you did.
You have previously stated that you think that Beau Hossler wins more times this year than Jordan
I
Spieth.
said Beau Hossler will be the winningest Longhorn on tour in 2019.
This feels very reminiscent of 2 years ago. We talked about Spieth.
No.
Spieth was coming off a really bad year.
Was it a bad year?
It was a bad year.
What did he accomplish?
Nothing. He was horrible for the first part of the season.
But he still won stuff.
But he was written off because he didn't win anything till the Travelers, which was like halfway through the season. But he was playing like Indonesia. Remember, he was doing his world tour.
He was selling his shoes.
And he was just gassed. And like he was not playing well. And then the Masters came around. He even gagged at the Masters. Like a year after gagging it to Willett, he gagged on the final day again when Sergio won because he was in the mix that year too. And he just could not strike the ball whatsoever on the Sunday. Then he gets it together, wins the Travelers, wins the British Open. All of a sudden, no big deal with Jordan again. Now he goes a year without winning because the putter lets him down. One of the worst putters on tour last season. But for the first part of the season, he was one of the best ball strikers on tour. That was the really weird part with him, that it looked like he was going to turn it around, that once the putter started clicking, he'd be unstoppable because for the first time in ages, he was driving the ball well. The irons were hot. His tee to green game was off the charts. He just couldn't putt. Then as the season went along, the putting came back a little bit. The ball striking, especially the driving, went away. So in the short game was not Spieth level short game, which is a really strange thing to go away for him. Like I dug into him on Fantasy National a lot, and that's why he made my list. That when you see his peak, like you can have the chart of his entire career of like around the green strokes gained. It kind of goes up and then it flattens a little bit and goes up and flattens a little bit and goes up. He's on this flat stretch now that I think if he can get his short game back together, he's going to be a multi-time champion on tour this year. You just hate Jordan Spieth.
No, I don't hate him.
You do hate him.
No, hate's a strong word. I think he's a magician. And unless the magic wand is waving, he's got nothing on the players that I deem are the best in the world. When those guys win, they're not like freaking pulling rabbits out of hats. When Jordan wins, it's just so much magic. And maybe that's me being unfair. And listen, I'll give him credit because I say all this stuff. I don't think he's nearly as close to as naturally gifted as those other guys. So he has to make up for it in other ways. And he's obviously done an amazing job. But when the struggles come in and he's going to have to make like certain swing changes, like all really elite players do, I think he will have the most difficult time recovering from those sorts of things.
Potentially, but are we talking like Spieth's not better than Patrick Reed? Because he is.
I don't think the gap is nearly as big as some people like to make it.
No, but I'm not. But you're talking like he's worse than Patrick Reed.
I'm being a lot of hyperbole in my.
But I think that's the range that he's in terms of player.
Sure, that's great. That guy shouldn't be where he is. The one tournament I think he can win is the Masters. I'll give him that. I'm not crazy like your friend Tim.
Can't ever win the
Masters.
Masters.
Says he'll never win it again because of one hole. He can go up to that hole like up 12 strokes one year. Like it won't matter. That's the tournament, or some of these, Byron Nelson Texas stops. But I don't.
Colonial, he could win.
I don't.
He's one pebble. Like he can win any tournament because he's one of the few players, and like you said, the gap between his peak performance and like his natural resting state, it's a huge difference. That when he gets going, and we saw it for 2 rounds at the Masters this year, and he let down on Friday and Saturday, but Thursday and Sunday, he was the best guy on the course by far. That he's going to have tournaments where he strings that together and he's just the best guy and he's lights out.
I'm very interested. I still watch.
It's good to have a villain. Most people think that Patrick Reed is the villain. I think that Spieth is the villain.
Of course Spieth's the villain. Well, at least to me he's the villain.
It's because we like Patrick Reed.
Listen, I firmly believe when Patrick Reed tells a rules official he would do something different for Jordan Spieth, that's the truth.
True, but
I firmly believe that.
Patrick Reed's also like probably cheating at the same time, trying to get away with it.
I firmly believe that.
Number 8 on your list. Jordan Spieth has triggered you.
I'm excited to see it.
You're excited to see him play poorly, not well.
Listen, you know why Jordan Spieth's going to win 2 times this year? If he does, it's because he knows he's not good enough to have that super elite schedule that he thought he was good enough to have. So he's going to be showing up places and he's going to have good numbers. He's going to be favorites at a lot of Muni events because he's going to need points. He doesn't get disqualified like last year.
That's true.
He's got to show up more because he's not the player. And as this crash continues, if it continues, he's going to tumble because those like 2-year world ranking points are all going to be evaporating.
They'll be coming up at the British Open this year.
They're all soon to be evaporating. So he's got to get shit together.
Listen, if he is a stock, now's the time to buy because he's about as low as he's going to.
He's still the favorite to win the Masters.
But he's going to be a favorite to win the Masters for the next 5 years, no matter how well.
Okay,
he plays.
fine. The U.S. Open though is what he's still there.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't remember. I should, but I'm just saying. I mean, yes, but his stock.
In the past 4 years, he's won the Masters, U.S. Open, and British Open.
He's a good player. He's already won the Grand Slam.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't won the PGA.
He's won the Grand Slam.
Are we including the John Deere as a part of the Grand Slam?
He's
won that too.
He doesn't grow up. No, listen. He's won the 3 biggest tournaments. He's won the Grand Slam.
That's why he continues to be a favorite in these tournaments because when he's in contention, he wins. It's like Koepka. When Koepka's in contention, he wins. Spieth very much the same way. Who's your number 8?
I don't think he's. Listen, I don't think he's like as bad, but I think he's a lot closer to being as good as Patrick Reed than where people.
I agree with you, but I happen to think Patrick Reed's very good.
And I also, my biggest beef is to me he gets a free pass for everything.
That
is like almost the thing that is why there's like an oomph to the words that I'm not saying them calmly. That really bothers me.
Well, nothing's going to end up bothering me more than having all that Kuchar money at the Open Championship and then them giving 30 minutes for Jordan Spieth to move trailers.
You had to, like, I cry when we bring this up. I don't want to cry today.
It's the worst. So who's your number 8? On to better times.
Gotta eat this like a sandwich. Kuchar sitting on his bag unpacking lunch.
Yeah, I remember. I was there.
Where are we?
You're number 8.
I don't know what the story is, but he's a firecracker, and it's Eddie Pepperell. Whether it's because he has enough swag to begin with, but the more swag he gets on the course, it means the more swag is going to be brought to the internet.
I forgot to mention in the best rounds of the year his hungover final round of the Open Championship where he like kind of got back into it. He's a fun player to root for.
So this is legendary stuff here. I think he's in play at Portrush. I think anytime it's one of those really hard courses, he's a guy I'm going to want to bet. The harder the course.
The Beef likes a nice hard course too.
The harder the course is where this guy shines. No, he shines on Twitter.
He does shine on Twitter.
But he's such a young, it's just fun.
Is he that young?
No,
he's like our age.
Yeah, fine. But he's just fresh and it's just different. And I like it. He's not like a square pet. Like, he's different. I like characters. He's really becoming one of them. I think he's got game. And I feel like the more he can succeed, the more he'll even be more brash.
Hope so. I hope he's good. I wish he would play on the PGA Tour full time.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I make this projection. I have no idea what his plan is.
I assume he's playing on the Euro Tour. That's where he makes his bones. He's European. A lot of guys stick it until they become like super elite. And even like Fleetwood still splits.
It takes them a while. And then they come over too late.
That's usually
the problem. Oh, they burn it. Like Westwood, like they come over like too late. And then they're losers.
Well, Noren came over at the perfect time last year. He came over for Torrey. and then played Pebble, and then played Honda. Like he got in his reps.
But he
before
was
the
still
Masters.
like back and forth, him and Fleetwood. But I'm almost certain they're gonna be almost full-time residents now.
Well, it's better to live in Orlando than live in Britain when it comes to paying the taxes if you're making the money. My number 8. C.
Woo!
Kim. Guy needs to win a major this year. He has to. There's a lot of incentive for him to win a major or get himself geared up for the Olympics and win that. Because if not, we're not going to see Siwoo for 2 years because he's going into the South Korean military. That's rough, man. Do you think that makes him play better or worse? You always like to talk about like narrative and stuff like that, like motivation
That's
for
hard.
players.
That I don't like.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Siwoo, I believe,
That's like bigger pressure than anything.
Siwoo's 23 years old. He has 2 wins on tour. He has a couple close calls.
The
in other
major
ones.
would get him the exempt. The players did.
Players did not. The major would get it, or an Olympic medal. Just a medal at the Olympics would get him exempt as well. And
That's
I
so
think that there's
painful.
another one too. Like there's like an Asian
games.
something
They
like
have
that.
their own like.
That I think that
Olympics.
like he's gonna go.
'Cause
Play
that's how who's that good Indian and Texas Ranger won like gold.
Sinsu Chu.
Yeah, he won like he had to win gold and he could get out of at the Asian Games, not even like the Olympics or something.
I just find that Siwoo he's one of the most talented guys on tour, and people always kind of joke with me that I bet Siwoo every week. And I do think that until he drops into like that 40 range, which always happens after one good week that he has, that he is an auto bet. You see the skill that he flashes. It's just he has an ability to shoot 85 at a moment's notice, which also makes him really fun to watch because you don't know what the hell is going to happen. Like you were devastated when you lost all the Heritage money on him. We had him that week. And he was there. He should have won that tournament. But then he went full Siwoo, and all of a sudden he wasn't winning anymore. But like when he plays his peak, it doesn't happen all that often. But he's up there with some of the best ball striker and iron players in the game, and he is magic.
What I
around the
like
greens.
about guys like Siwoo is I'm so much happier and willing to bet them at the big full field event at the huge number than the
Then the 25
yeah,
to 1.
when it's like the shorter thing, because when he's on, and I don't mean to like play spoiler, but that's exactly how I feel about Luke List. Like when Luke List like finally wins the tournament, he's gonna win it by like 6. Like when it clicks, it's gonna be amazing, and he could win those insanely full field
yeah, he can beat anyone.
events.
It's a lot. I mean, it's funny to compare him to someone like Rory, but like when Rory's going, Rory's unstoppable. But Siwoo Kim, it happens like once a year that he just becomes unstoppable. And you're just looking like... Michael Kim actually had the Siwoo tournament this year.
He took the Kim.
He took the Kim swag and really took it for himself with the John Deere. But like him winning by so much that week was like a Siwoo, he's clicking performance. And with Siwoo, he's just going to be in the mix. He's still inside the top 50 in the world, so he's going to be in the Masters. He'll be I think that he's live to win the Masters because he can putt on bent and on fast greens really well. And he has one of the best short games in the world. He can get up and down. That's not a problem for him. It's just driving it out of bounds is the problem. Number 7 on your list.
Probably would think a little early, but just the fact that it's Tiger.
Oh, okay.
And it's just back and it just feels normal. So it doesn't have to like be super high.
Do you want
Because I just have the confidence.
Do we want to do Tiger now or do we want to do Tiger later?
We can wait for you to do it.
All right,
then. Then in the mix, can I just I feel like
let's do Tiger now. Tiger's number 2 on my list.
See, I bumped him down. I mean, listen, I'm super hyped, but it just feels like normal. Like and that's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like there's
that we expect Tiger to be in our lives
that it's
now?
just like that it's like here, and maybe I'm taking it for granted.
It seems like you are.
That it's like it's fine, everything's good. We're gonna get a nice fun run of Tiger where we're gonna get to see him play against our young favorite players on Sundays, and he's just part of the show. He's the headliner, and I don't want to say I'm more excited for Pons because Tiger's like my favorite athlete ever. But it's just such a sense of relief that I don't feel like I have to like hyper like pound the desk like a year ago. where I think I had him number 1.
I had him number 2 last year.
Do you know?
He is unchanged on my excitement list.
Okay, so I'm more like, I don't. Am I making any sense?
Not really.
You don't like you disagree, or I'm not making any sense.
You're not making a ton of sense.
Okay, he's like, I'm not worried about him. I'm like more calm that he's not like gonna go away, and it's not gonna be this like overarching like negative. It's just, to me, it's all positive, and he's here and he's taking on the young guys that we are so fond of. But I don't have he's here. I don't know. I might be making no sense. I'm sorry.
So what you're saying is that where you've seen it for a year now, you're just kind of like, Tiger's back. This is good.
No, Tiger's back. This is amazing. But I'm just the show. It's sort of like he's either like not even on the list because he's so obviously won, or I don't know. I put him here.
Okay. How many tournaments do you think he wins this year? If I gave you over
2.
If I gave you over under 1.5, what would you bet?
He won 1 last year. It's an auto. One's an auto to me.
I don't know about that.
Auto.
I was gonna say, do we do a Spieth versus Tiger total wins bet?
I don't like that.
Why?
Fine. You just timmed me.
I think that's a pretty fair bet.
Yeah, it is. The math on it is fair.
Tiger is higher in the world rankings than Spieth is.
Done.
I like it. Where do you think his
What do you want to do it for?
I'd do it for $100.
All right.
Where do you think Tiger's best shot to win is this year? The tournament that he is most likely to win. Is it East Lake again?
East Lake, Memorial.
He was in the mix at Memorial last year. It's not the Masters.
No, that's just too.
There's too many good guys.
Yeah. East Lake, Memorial, one of those Florida tracks, whether it be Bay Hill or Honda, I think strategy Tiger.
I think Honda better suits Tiger now.
Honda's in a new spot, right?
No, Honda's PGA National.
I mean, on the schedule?
No.
Same week?
That's the same week. It's a week after WGC Mexico. So they go Honda, then they go Bay Hill. And they don't have Mexico in between anymore. Mexico's before it. Like, do you see him winning one of the like West Coast events? Like, he'll play Farmers, but maybe he will play well at Farmers. I don't know.
No, I don't see him winning a Torrey, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
And I don't see him winning Genesis. Oh, man.
He's never played well at Riviera. I think Spieth ends up with more wins because, as you alluded to earlier, Spieth's going to play in the Colonial, and he's going to play in the Travelers. And
So you got me.
I don't know if I got you. Spieth still has to win these events. I just don't think – I think we saw the most Tiger that we're going to see last year.
I agree. He is now –
He's not playing Valspar again.
He has now gotten to a point where he can play the schedule. Everything is about majors and WGCs and those preeminent events like a Players, like a Memorial, like a Bay Hill, like the ones that there's a status symbol to, a handful of non-majors and WGCs that we've spoken about. It's just great. And man, like just in general, I like the joke, like this new Tiger that is not looking
to kill you.
You know what, though? It'll be interesting to see what happens, because as the year went on, he kind of alluded to, like, I made these guys my friends, and now, like, I don't want to be their friends anymore.
And he's going to stab him in the back.
You know?
Try to run him down.
But he's
like
not,
a guy in Happy Gilmore.
But you saw it. He's not on the first tee looking to shake your hand, throw razors at your eyes, and then not say another word to you. I mean, I was there at Honda, man. He like walking with Sam Burns.
Sam Burns'
that
buddy?
Wouldn't have happened. Like
I like Sam Burns, by the way. He was a near miss on my list.
So I just love it all. And as I joked last year, I really hope whatever it is, the Players Association of the PGA Tour went to every player, because it seemed like it all happened to them. They played with Tiger and they took pictures with him. We saw it every night. And then their moms and dads and their girlfriends and their sisters were like in the family picture with Tiger. Every single player who did that, send the picture in, and the tour's got to make a book for Tiger. Like, it's just a different guy. And he melts me. And yeah, sure, he's 7 because I'm so satisfied.
He needs to learn how to drive the ball.
I don't have any concerns.
You have no concerns about Tiger driving the ball.
I have no concerns about healthy Tiger putting in the work to fix everything.
I worry about the driving. It's what kept Phil back for the past 5 years, that he couldn't drive the ball and the rest of his game was top notch. And Tiger's game is pretty top notch. The irons are on point. He's putting again. The short game has come back, but he can't drive the ball. And that's what's important right now.
I don't disagree, but I don't doubt.
It's especially important for some of these majors this year, whether it be Pebble, whether it be the Open, or even the PGA Championship at Bethpage. At the Masters, he can do whatever he wants off the tee. Anyone can. But when you have to start hitting fairways, and he did it at the Tour Championship, which was nice to see. That was basically the only time all year where the driver didn't let him down in some sort of big spot. And that would be my main concern about him. It's the same concern I have about Spieth. The guy can't drive the ball. And that limits your upside to a certain extent.
Obviously. But if I just put myself like where we were a year ago, and now healthy Tiger in his downtime, working on his game, makes me believe everything is possible.
So you think that the offseason of him learning how to redrive the ball is better than the offseason of him like learning how to walk again?
Yeah, like playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And like where we got to as the year progressed, as everything was coming back. Now we get a year of him spending last 3 months like in the cages. You know, proverbial, yeah. There's that. I also, no, whatever.
Go ahead.
We're going deep. No, because I didn't like give my guys that like missed my list, and I just want to run them off quickly. I just feel like they're forgotten children, and they're not worthy of the list. But I feel like with like your cool young players, that we're just forgetting a lot of guys. Like to me, Cam Smith feels like literally like a nobody with all the hype with Neiman and Champ and other guys, and Hostler who led the tour in putting. And I'm a sucker for Surrey. And I think everything Patrick Cantley's going to win big events.
Patrick Cantley, 2 missed cuts in 2 years.
Big events. One of the best ball strikers on the planet.
One of the shittiest putters. And one of the worst guys to watch on TV.
Yeah, he's going to have
it's funny because I like Cantley.
I know, it's like this pitter-patter with the feet,
because
right?
It's like liking Patrick Cantley is equivalent to liking Keegan Bradley. It's like the same thing. That's where we're going to be in a year's time with Cantley, because he's going to contend in these events, and his rounds are going to take 8 hours because the guy can't step up to the ball and fucking hit it.
It's funny. You actually watch the guys playing with him. Like you watch Cantley putting. I'm not watching Cantley putting. I'm watching the periphery to see like the playing partner. You just like, pull the freaking trigger because it like looks like it's coming, and it never comes. But he's just like a Cesco Molinari, a Hideki. Like when he puts 20th in the field, he's going to win by 3.
Yeah, I agree. He's one of the premier ball strikers. He's still young. He has that pedigree. Yeah. He's improved his sand game quite a bit.
So that was my 7. Who's yours?
Your number 7's Tiger. My number 7 is Cameron Champ. Why not get pumped for Cameron Champ? He is very Ander-cursed. And since he's been Ander-cursed, he's melted down on Sundays quite a few times, or at least taken himself out of it, then had to like come back because he won the event in the swing season. Then he contended another 2 times. He kind of fell back. The putting with him over this swing season has been off the charts. And that's not something that should continue. Because no one continues to putt at that pace to begin with. And frankly, he wasn't a very good putter to begin with. That it seems like he was kind of playing a bit over his head. But we talked about him a little bit on the other show, that he's DJ 2.0. And he's farther along being a 20-year-old.
Yeah, his ability to chip and putt at his age is insane. And we saw this like when Brooks came. We were like, he's a baby DJ, but he's like so much better at chipping and putting. And look at like a couple years later, everything he's accomplished. It all, for me, it's
when you can watch a guy drive the ball 360 yards, it's fun. It's like watching Happy Gilmore. That's what you get with Cameron Champ, and he's super young. He's not big too, which is really
scrawny,
the weird part.
Like JT though, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited.
And I bet you Dustin looked like that 10, 12 years ago too.
But Dustin's also like 6'4".
How tall? Cameron's what? Not 6'1", 6'2", probably. No?
I didn't think he was that. He doesn't look that tall. Maybe he is. Like Justin Thomas
it's
is like
so
my
much
size.
to be excited about. The thing is just like with this Cameron Champ dominating, it's just gonna bring up this whole like bomb and gouge. Is it good? Is it bad?
I'm surprised you didn't have a Big Norm on your list.
I was going to do that as a gag joke.
But he's not on the PGA Tour, so that's tough.
He's not on the PGA Tour.
Did he even make the Did he end up winning? Did he make the Web.com Tour? I don't think he did.
I don't know if he won. He was like in an event late. People were, but I was.
But that was to
Yeah, it was strictly a web thing. I think.
No, it was to qualify for the Web.com Tour. But with Champ, I'm excited to see him in the mix with real guys for the first time. Like
I'm also excited.
Remember we saw this with Rahm. Yeah. Like Rahm, he hung around in some tournaments his first year, and then he won at Torrey against like big boys. I'm excited to see the first time Champ goes head to head with these guys.
I'm also excited to see Champ on a tree-lined golf course.
That's going to be tough.
Because if he's inside the tree line, anything like he could shoot 20 under, but he goes inside the tree line. Or sorry,
he's missing the cut.
He's in big trouble. Or some of these places where the rough is like very penal. But again, he's already it'll be 68 yards from the hole. He'll just hack it out.
He's already 40-1 to win the Masters. That seems a bit extreme.
That is
what's a real odd for him to win the Masters? 150-1?
Real or like acceptable?
What's a real odd?
Yeah, sure. He's a rookie. I wouldn't even I wouldn't even consider him, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, neither would I.
Especially like if I'm only picking like 6'8", like he wouldn't even
but
crack it.
I'm gonna be curious to see how he performs at like Career Builder and performs at those other tournaments where all the best guys don't show up, and then work his way into the mix.
Or even he can go to Phoenix and play desert golf, and if he's not under a cactus, he can he can I'm sure play fantastic.
Number 6 on your list.
Okay, I think it's funny. I had Tiger 7, so I feel like the next great thing needs to be 6 on my list, and then the rest of it's personal. Bryson.
Let's save Bryson.
Okay, you might have him 1, or I don't want to spoil it.
Bryson appears higher on my list than number 6. So my number 6, Jon Rahm.
He's higher on my list, so we should just do that now.
No, we'll save Rahm.
You sure?
Yeah, let's go to number 5. Are you looking at my list?
No.
Give me your list, number 5. You don't even have a list in front of you. What are you doing?
No, it's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 seems to be missing.
It looks like it goes to 8 after 4.
No, there's 6 and 7. I had a spacing issue, Pat.
Would you like me to give my 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so my 5, Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. He is, you know what? Because I seem to have missed that. I have a 4-5 Fleetwood Hatton.
So we'll make Tommy 5 for you as well.
Okay. How could you not be super excited?
Yeah, who's not excited for Tommy Fleetwood? The golfing Jesus.
Like, if you don't like Tommy Fleetwood, I'm not saying you have to think he's going to win tournaments, but he's like the most likable guy going.
And he's actually fun to watch as well. Like, there's some, like, Cantlay is not fun to watch. Cantlay's a great player, but he is not fun to watch. Tommy is entering not necessarily like Snedeker type fun to watch, but he's close. Snedeker is probably the most fun guy to watch.
Sure.
He takes a practice stroke and just
I love Tommy. I love everything about him. He's got his mate on the bag. It's funny to think we hype him up. His odds, he has yet to win in North America. I think
he's been close.
That's just a matter of moments from now. And yeah, absolutely. Fully on. I am with like golf Twitter and I'm fully on the bandwagon.
You're supporting Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, full support.
When did we get on Tommy? It feels like we've been on him for 2 years now.
Well, last year at the U.S. Open, he was like 100-1. But we were on it before that.
I got him on at the U.S. Open the year before when he came 4th. He was my pick at 175-1 to win. And the putter let him down on Saturday.
And then even this year, before the hype got started, we were betting him at the U.S. Open. Those hits for TSN, like 80 to like early Tommy this year to win the U.S. Open. That's what made that Sunday so crazy. He missed the putt, like that shot on 18. No, I'm not mad. I mean, the approach is my point. It was amazing.
But it was like a 20-foot putt, and he just
wasn't 20 feet. It was like 9.5, and he shorted it. Yeah, it was.
He missed it by an inch.
Just shorted it.
It wasn't a gimme putt like people make.
No. I'm not going there. But it was like.
But let's not forget, he had made like
112
feet of putts on the 4 holes before.
I think everything.
I worry about his short game. His short game's not the best. Like, he needs to be in full, like we saw it on Sunday at the U.S. Open. He was in full ball strike mode. He's going to hit it in the middle of the fairway. His irons are going to be pure, and he's going to give himself a birdie look.
Well,
it's when he starts veering off that things go very. We talk about it every major. He's going to have the best round of the. One of those 4 days is going to be a Tommy round.
We got to avoid disaster. He's just got to be able to, when it's sinking, he's got to be able to just keep it afloat because he does have that like 64 in his bag on a major weekend.
Guy gets hot.
So yeah, we're both fired up, and to see him fully run through North America. And I mean, we saw him a couple years ago, much like my number 4. These guys show up on courses they never played before, and they were amazing. So that much more comfortable.
Who's your number 4?
Tommy at Honda.
You got Hatton at number 4?
Hatton at 4, because I may as well condone betting him to win both Opens.
I like Hatton
I think
a
he's
lot.
the premier links player on the planet. He almost won another Alfred Dunhill links this year. Listen, sometimes he could be a little bit on the other side.
That actually makes me like him more.
That's why there's another guy that I have lower than him that I have a thing for these guys. I like it.
I like that he gets mad on the course. I like it. I like that Billy Horschel is exactly the same thing.
Listen, it's a process. Not everybody can just be Jordan Spieth and win instantly. Other guys, there's a process and there's a maturation.
And not everyone can be like DJ and Brooks, who it seems like literally nothing phases them.
Yeah.
Hatton's out there. He plays on his emotions. He goes through emotional swings.
Love it.
Phil does the same thing.
And that is part of my beef with Jordan, because sometimes Jordan will do the exact same things Tyrrell does, but the announcers are ripping Hatton for it, and Jordan's getting a scot-free, acting like the same 7-year-old. And I'm not saying he's not allowed to, but the guys gotta commentate it the same. Love Hatton.
Hatton, one of the premier putters in the world.
I
too.
think the at Portrush and Pebble, I think really do set up.
I'm actually with you on that. I'm kind of liking this Pebble call more and more, and we have to get in this right after the show. Get some Hatton monies down.
I like that. So that's my 4. Who's your 4?
My 4 is Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
Did Rory make your list?
No, because there's just so.
Really?
Listen, I'm excited. I'm excited about 100 guys. And I know you're a Rory guy because I think you might have had him 1 last year.
What? I did have him 1.
Yes.
Yeah, he was 1 Tiger.
So I knew you'd have him on your list, and I cheated. I took liberties. Like, if I know Pat's going to have him, I don't need to have him.
I get excited anytime Rory tees it up. I think he is. I said Snedeker's like the most fun to play, but like Snedeker's the most fun like when I'm watching the St. Jude. And like Snedeker's plodding around and he's having fun. Rory is just, I don't know where the ball is going when it comes off the driver, for one. It could be going anywhere. It could be going 360 down the middle. He could be in the water. There's an element to that that's fun about it. I like Rory off the course. I think people give him a ton of shit. And what the guy has 4 majors. The guy has been amazing for the past 10 years, and people just shit on him all the time.
It's been a while since he won a major, Pat.
It has been a while. He's no Ricky Fowler, who's never won, but let's be real here. He's no Tony Finau. No one's giving these guys shit.
I think
Rory is so good.
Ricky gets so much shit,
it's like the same.
different shit.
No, it's the same shit that Cuss talks about when like he hears the shit about Sam Darnold. The only people he hears shit about from Sam Darnold is me and people trying to like make fun of him on the internet. Same thing with you and Ricky. If Ricky's doing badly, you hear about it because you love Ricky.
Oh yeah, so it's just the people on the internet that are letting me know how shit he is.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
The general public isn't like Ricky Fowler sucks, but they love Ricky Fowler.
Okay. Yeah. No. I got to give you that. Listen.
You know who they like to shit on? They like to shit on Rory. They like to shit on Rahm, and they like to shit on Bryson and Patrick Reed and Hatton. They like to shit on all of them. They're bad guys, according to like the general public at large. But I like that Rory works out all the time. I don't understand how the commentators are like, oh, he works out too much.
What does Dustin and Brooks do?
I know, but like it's almost like you said that Spieth gets the pass for being a whiny bitch on the course. Rory gets like the anti-pass that everyone else. Tiger coined working out and being in great shape, and that's how you can win and get extra distance. Rory doesn't. Oh, it affected his game because he didn't win a major the next year. Like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah. Listen,
and Rory seems like a good dude.
I'm crazy.
Rory seems like a great hang.
Oh yeah, I'm crazy enough to say if you tell me everyone's going to play their best, to me, Rory's the best player on the planet.
I'm starting to come off of that a little bit. And someone even pointed out that's a stupid argument to make.
Well, why?
Because that's not going to happen.
It never happens.
But
ever.
We saw the best.
And you have to deal with variables.
The best of Rory that we saw last year was the 62 at Bay Hill to win on Sunday. Like, that was vintage Rory. I'm going to bomb it. I'm going to hit everything to 10 feet. I'm going to make every putt.
We can't putt.
He can't putt.
And he doesn't have the confidence in his putts. You watch him hit
that will
par
come
putts.
back, though.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. But you've watched him over the last year. You watch on the short put, like, there's just a lack of confidence that's concerning. But I'm with you. He's an exciting watch. I got no beef.
I worry about his majors this year. I think the Pebble and the Open are going to be too windy for him. And there's going to be way too much pressure on him at the Open.
Well, once he wins the Masters, he'll be scot-free with his career slam.
The Masters is the spot for him this year. It's almost the anti-Willett, where the Masters
and
really
he played
is
like
spot.
I don't know.
But the pressure on him in Northern Ireland, hosting for the first time since 1951, like, it just stay away. It'd be awesome if he did win, but
also
that's real risky
because there's so many variables to the Opens to begin with, weather, and he might, having played that place, might be a disadvantage when he's playing it like as a kid in muni settings.
So like the Ryan Palmer effect when they play Colonial, it's like, oh, this is Ryan Palmer's home course. He sucks every year.
Listen, of course, because it's a different course. It really is, and almost you can outthink yourself.
Do you know why? Do you know why I like Rory? I think I've kind of nailed it down. It's that we watch all these tournaments every week, and the guys win at 27 under, and it becomes a birdie fest. Rory goes to hard courses when no one is making a birdie and turns it into a birdie fest for himself. He's one of the only guys that can do that. If the course is playing 3 strokes over par, Rory's liable to go 64.
Cool.
So I get excited for Rory. Who's your number 3?
Jon Rahm.
I like me some Jon Rahm. Bad year for Jon Rahm. Wasn't the best, but I feel like beating Tiger at the Ryder Cup flipped a switch in him. That was a big moment for him.
I believe everything is on the precipice for him. And he's going to be one of those guys that can never do it until he does it, and then he'll be able to do it forever.
We said that about Dustin, but Dustin hasn't done it since.
No, but the perception is he can.
I mean, how old is Rahm? Like 24?
He's a baby.
Yeah, he's young.
He's so good.
Like,
if you want to keep throwing out those numbers, like flirting with majors in the Opens, I know they're hard places. I'll go in every time with both feet.
He really made me look foolish at the U.S. Open this year.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't hold it against him.
It's fine.
He made me look super foolish.
Whatever.
Just like Dustin did at the British Open. But why don't people like Rahm? I think Phillip Rivers actually kind of fell into this trap too for a big portion of his career, that he was too fired up all the time, and people didn't like that. And like, what does Rahm do that's bad? He freaks out when he has a bad hole? Good. When I'm on the golf course and I'm playing poorly, if I smash a rake, I tend to calm myself down and I play a little bit better. Maybe it's just him working through his system.
I never really understood that whole thing. Like that Phillip's a jerk, because he's never like said a swear word in his life. But he's
fired up all the time. He seems like he's annoyingly fired up.
And I love that because
Rahm is always fired up too. People hate him.
Good, because when Phillip throws a pick, I'm super pissed. But you know who I'm not? You know who I know is more pissed than me? Him. Ain't no Jay Cutler.
I love Jay though. Have you watched Jay's show? Because he is so good.
Yeah, he seems really good. I love that.
Very Cavallari. He might be the best character on TV.
Okay, you're not wrong. Because I'll lie. I've actually seen like 2 scenes, and one of the scenes killed me, and it actually should make me want to watch more. He pretty much went into his wife's office and started like just like all the lollygagging staff. They're doing nothing, making money. Like it's probably out of half his pocket.
Yeah, she's pretty rich.
No, yes, I understand that. But he's like, she's away on business, and he just drops by her office to just make like whip her staff into shape. Make sure they're not like taking 90-minute lunches and like playing solitaire and shit.
Half the episode is him like waiting to pick up his kids at the school and just being pissed about it. It's great. He made the transition from NFL player to regular person very easily.
Well, actually, he made the transition to NFL player to Fox analyst, back to NFL player to now just gone.
How did Witten end up on the Monday Night Crew and they could have had Cutler? Cutler would have been doing way better.
Nah.
He's not a stupid guy. Went to Vanderbilt. Smart dude. But Rahm.
I'm full in. I'm full in with Hatton. I'm full in with Rahm. Rahm obviously has a ceiling that will be the number one player in the world within a fair allotted time.
He's coming off winning the Hero World Challenge.
I don't care about that. I'm just saying he will be the number one player. His ceiling talent is world number one.
What is he now? World number 3?
I think it's
6?
5 or something.
He's in the mix. I think, but people don't treat him like he's an elite player. It's really bizarre.
Nothing.
Like you talk about Spieth earlier. Like Rahm's better than Spieth. Like that's not close.
I'm just,
But Spieth
I didn't say that.
But
if I said it, I would take.
No, but like if we look at like a career trajectory, like I'm trying to think of like who Spieth is kind of like.
Not anyone is like that. Rory, like who wins majors that fast?
No, not even majors that fast. But the type of player that he is. Is he like Justin Leonard? Like that type of player? Like better
He's a
version
plotter.
of that?
He's like really amazing Jim Furyk. I don't know. What do you want me to say?
That's actually a pretty good
He's like super skilled Jim Furyk.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. And Rahm is like, he's in the mold of Dustin.
Of Brooks and Dustin.
Maybe what he needs to do to win a major is hit the fucking gym because he's kind of slobby looking. If Brooks is hitting the gym and DJ's hitting the gym, maybe Rahm should chase him in there too.
He might have the
He's chasing tail right now.
He ain't chasing tail. He has the number one tail. He might have the number one tail on tour. Oh my God.
Did Ricky get married?
Engaged or married? I don't know. Married.
Because he was sort of the king of this for a while.
Yeah, but Rahm's not single. Ricky would be like single.
Rahm
Rahm is engaged.
Oh, Rahm's engaged?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, you'd settle down. Dude.
No, you wouldn't. I would not be 23 and get married.
Okay, fine. But this one might do it to you.
I waited until
I
waited until I was in my 30s.
Number one power rated golfer wife girlfriend.
You're off Paulina now?
Not that I'm off Paulina. She's a princess in our country. But this is just a different. It's a different look. It's more of
Instagram.
She's quite more voluptuous, a little thicker than Paulina.
Okay, well, Rahm's a thick dude. He's a big dude.
He's a truck. Listen, I'm super excited.
Can he win Phoenix this year?
Maybe.
He came 5th as like an amateur, and then he kind of gagged it last year.
Well, no, because wasn't the one time was after he won Torrey.
Yeah.
So I was like, he just won Torrey and he's going home.
I was all fired up to bet him at Phoenix, and we talked about it. Then he won Torrey the week before. I was like, oh no.
Phoenix! Oh, that was right.
That was shitty.
Yeah.
But I love Rahm
Phoenix is going to be amazing. JT, Ricky,
Spieth's playing.
Finau, Spieth.
Bubba always plays.
Bubba. We were just talking
Can we get
Rahm.
Can we get Tiger back to Phoenix?
No, he's got a Super Bowl party.
Phil's playing. Phil always plays Phoenix. Woodland will be back.
Yeah.
We'll have some dudes. I love Phoenix.
Yeah.
Would you power rank that your favorite non-major?
Probably. Well, it's Super Bowl Sunday, so the day is like just great.
I like Valspar and Heritage because I think those two tournaments correlate, and the Colonial too. I like those shorter hard courses. They're really strategy off the tee.
Who's your 3?
My 3 is Luke List.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, listen, I've adopted thinking by osmosis. The same way I thought Jim Sorgi was going to be half decent. Your osmosis of Luke List talk has gone up it's suffocating me, and I do believe he is special. I see what you see. No player, Pat. No player missing the putt on Thursday, I think, bothers me more than him because the playoff.
He needs those putts.
Because there's always that playoff on Sunday that he misses by a stroke, and you think, and I know everyone can think about them, but with him, I'm always really thinking about them.
The way that I look at it, I remember the Travelers a few years ago. The first time Bubba won the Travelers, he went, I think it was 31 of 31 on putts from inside 10 feet.
His first ever win. Is that what you're talking about?
No. The second time he won. The first win he had was Zurich.
Okay, sorry.
He beat Casey and Brian Herman that year at the Travelers, but he made every putt inside 10 feet. Now, I don't need Luke List to be making every putt from inside 10 feet. I need him to make every putt from inside 5 feet. And that's going to happen once this year. So I need the rest of his game to come along and just him to play as like he's top 10 in ball striking, he's top 10 tee
Like
green. He's great around the greens. He just can't fucking putt.
But-
It'll just happen for him. It has to. It happened for Molinari. It happens for all these other shitty putters. It happened to Paul Casey. Webb Simpson learned how to putt all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Keegan won a fucking tournament this year. It can happen for Luke List, and we're gonna get him. Because all these champs and the Niemans and all these guys are going to be 35-1. Luke List is going to walk into one of these big events, and it's not going to be a bomber's track. That is the one misconception about Luke.
Win the playoff.
He lost in the playoff at Honda. He was third at Heritage. It's going to be on one of these short tracks that List is going to pop.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, and I just
small greens where the up and down really mean something. He can do that,
and I'm just hopeful. And I believe that it's going to happen, and it's going to be a big payday because it's going to click like a Siwoo player. Like just at a big event, it's just going to click for him. I hope it's a big one and not like when he's 20-1 in some Chez and Wardo field.
Yeah, I might not even bet him at those fields.
Look, I don't think you do.
I don't think you can. Like he's never 20-1 to win any tournament.
Oh, he's like, no, they were last year. He was like 25-1 to win.
No, yes, but his actual odds of winning a tournament are never 20-1.
Yes.
Because he can't.
But I'm saying you would send him to some of. I could, off the top of my head, I can't think of them, but I guarantee you there's some real subfields. Not even subfields, the weaker ones where he would. Get
I'm
numbers.
excited to see him. I worry that he missed a shot this year, that he had his run and he missed it. Maybe
He's
32. Just got married.
Yeah, they're having a baby.
Lives in Augusta now. I was talking to David from the Tour Junkies about it. Lives down there now, and he's always played well in that part of the country. Like the southeast is where he tends to shine, unless you can get him at one of these like harder track. Maybe Sony is somewhere where he could pop. But again, I want to keep him at these shorter courses.
I'll bet him at Sony.
Small greens. Pebble Beach might actually be a spot for him too because it's a short spot. Hey, there we go. Luke List at the U.S. Open. Although I would not have a whole lot of confidence with him standing over a 10-footer, needing to make par. But no, I like Luke List. I think that he has the game to win an event this year. And I think that we're going to get him, when he hits it, he'll be 75-1 or lower. Or higher, whatever you want to say. That from 75 to 100-1. He's a guy that can pop on some of these courses, and I think the harder the course, the better. The smaller the green, the better for him. Because then that takes the putter out of his hand, and then he can just chip. But if you actually have each way bets like we do here in Canada and a lot of people have in the rest of the world, Luke List is a profitable player. You just bet him each way every week. He comes inside the top 5 enough at big numbers. Like even at the stupid Scottish Open last year, he was like 3rd. So I like Luke List. Everyone watching the show knows this. Give me your number 2.
Well, your number 2 is Tiger.
My number 2 is Tiger, and we've talked Tiger. So who's your number 2?
My number 2 is Reed and Justine versus everybody. Team Reed versus everybody. Everybody.
I'm curious with your list.
Why?
Because there's 2 players left and there's only 1 spot for number 1.
Some players don't even need to be mentioned.
Okay.
Like I am excited for them. I don't know who you're referring to. Some guys.
I mean, you left your favorite player off this list.
Last year I did too, because he doesn't need him. I don't need to talk about Dustin Johnson. What do I need to talk about him?
He's not super exciting.
And he's not exciting. I just think he's amazing.
So tell me about Patrick Reed. You think this is really, is there going to be a wave of we've liked Patrick Reed for years. And he's been our guy. And we didn't bet him to win the Masters, which sucks. Although you ended up winning a pool with him, which was nice. And he won Ben Raza $100,000 in winning the Thunderdome. Ben Raza. Good guy. Follow him at JazzRaz, DFS on Twitter.
I just love it. I love the narrative.
He's good he is good. As Tiger is good for the game, a fixture like Reed, especially if Reed's good, is essential for the PGA Tour.
Reed and Justine versus everybody. I'm for it, and I back them. There shouldn't be anything that isn't exciting. He should swag walk the whole year in his green jacket.
Should he play around in his green jacket?
I wanted Sergio to do it, but I would go to the players like no pants on, no, I'm just my green jacket out of the shower.
Kisner was talking shit about him already.
But you see, Tiger had his back.
Kind of, he had his back.
It's like I'd play with that war. Like I'd tee it up with him like forever. Like he's a fighter.
He has the same. It's funny. Like if we rewind like 15 years ago, Tiger, Patrick Reed just acts like Tiger did then, except he's not Tiger, so it doesn't really work.
That's actually a really good point.
Like, it's exactly the same personality. He's crotchety with everyone. He's pissing everyone off. Everyone hates his guts, except he doesn't win 11 times a year.
But he's got his wife's a villain. Tiger, like, the wife was never a villain too. I just love it. I eat it up. I have a firm belief. I think Jordan had every right and Justin to want to play together.
But it should have been Reed.
Yeah, but I also
You
think
could put Thomas with anyone.
I also think that Spieth is a super soft serve kind of guy that took offense to when Reed told the rules official, that sort of thing, or at match play when they had a match and Reed told Reed was asked about it. He's like, "Oh, Jordan's problem. I'm still tired from carrying Jordan on my back for all those like matches."
What about when he yelled at the cameraman on that Euro tour?
That
event?
was weird. The loose change, whatever.
That's what we need to see from him, though.
Imagine Reed was in the spot where Xander was with the crying baby on like the 16th hole at the Open.
It would have been bad news.
So yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a big yeah. And this year it's gonna be, they want to make it into something. My fandom will only grow. The more you want to vilify him, the more I will support him.
I'm in on him. Maybe he can win the U.S. Open this year. Do you think he'll ever win another major? Because it feels like
of course.
You can't say of course.
Oh, he's too sweet. Yeah, he's got a killer instinct. I'm confident he would. Yeah, of course, you're right. That's way too much hyperbole. Of course.
I'm shocked he won the Masters. I still am.
Sure, but are you shocked
he's
a major champion?
I'm not shocked, but I never in a million years thought it'd be the Masters.
He has the same amount of green jackets as Jordan Spieth. It's freaking fantastic.
More than Ricky.
You want me to go?
Tiger's my number 2. This was my thing. Who's going to be your number 1? Big Ricky or Little Ricky?
Well, it's Big and Little.
Okay, so you've cheated and got them both in.
Just the whole narrative of Big and Little. Like, I love it. Maybe I'm this loser laughing at my own jokes, but I think it's amazing. And now, I mean,
when I first called him Big Ricky, you were very upset about it. Now you've embraced it.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And he is, I mean, how old is Tony?
I don't know. I want to see, he was on the Canadian tour for a while.
I want to know how old Tony is.
Let's guess here. I'm going to say he's 28. What do you think he is?
That is, then if he's 28, it makes the comp even more fair. Yes, Ricky's been in our faces longer, but if they're of equal age,
he is 29 years old.
It works even better. Pat, I love Tony. I like banging the drum before he became like the new Ricky. I liked him, and I still like him, even though he's carrying this man. I just don't like that he is so pedestaled. Well, Ricky is like has mud thrown on him.
But again, that's not real mud. That's mud thrown at you because of Ricky.
But you can't put Tony on a pedestal and throw mud at Ricky. Am I right or am I wrong?
It's all the same thing. They're the same guy. I'm with you.
One of them has actually won a Players' Championship. The other guy had to outduel Steve Marino in Puerto Rico.
But he did.
He did. And we love it. And it's great. And I can't wait to see him win. Like, everyone's going to be happy for him. Not as happy as everyone's going to be for Ricky.
It would be funny because, Ricky does hold the world record for congratulating most of his friends on winning big events.
He's friends with everybody.
Sure, it'd be funny if no one showed up when he won. They ghosted him. Dude, that'd be hilarious.
They'll be flying in, like, for the party. Oh, the major, like, yeah.
If it's a major.
Yeah. What was his last win? Was Honda.
Do you think he's the most popular player among players? Or is it Kuchar?
Who, Tony?
Yeah. No, Fowler. It seems like everyone likes Fowler.
Kuchar might be there. Ricky, you're probably right with. If you watch like the nicest, like Golf Digest does like the nicest guys, Tony and Spieth are like 1, 2.
How is Kuchar not number 1? He's that guy from that Simpsons
Kuchar pranks
episode.
you. He'll make fun of you as much as he's a nice guy. If you need him, he's like a big prankster.
Have they named the Ryder Cup captains yet?
I think Bjorn's already in.
Bjorn's probably in.
No, I don't believe they've named an American captain.
Stricker or Kuchar? I'd take Kuchar.
Well, people say that we've forgetting like Duval.
Fuck Duval.
I'm just saying people like that there's a hierarchy. I tried to plan it out. The next one it's in Minnesota.
Oh, then have Heartland's favorite player, Steve Stricker, as the captain.
Yeah,
He's from Wisconsin.
It's in
It's all the
Minnesota.
same area.
And then they're in Rome.
It's
and
in Minnesota again?
Oh no, sorry. It's in shit.
It was just at Hazeltine.
No, then I'm wrong. Sorry.
Is it at Medina?
Oh my god. I obviously got that mixed up. Then they're in Rome, and then they're at Bethpage.
No, they beat in the States this time.
Yeah, this one that I said was Minnesota. I'm wrong.
Oh, it's at Whistling Straits.
Sorry.
In Wisconsin. Of course
said
it's gonna
Minnesota.
It's gonna be Steve Stricker.
I meant Wisconsin.
It's gonna be Steve Stricker.
But there's a lot of people that are angry about that.
Let's screw them.
Because he hasn't is he accomplished enough to take
He's
that
like
mantle?
Tiger's buddy. He's the captain.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. So we have, and then Rome is probably
And accomplished for what? Like David Duval was the former #1 player in the world. The guy hasn't like played competitively
I
in
don't
like
know.
15 years.
And then Rome, I think it could be Padrig or Westwood might take over for Bjorn.
Or Poulter. I
No,
feel like
Poulter needs 2024 in New York State.
oh, that'll be great. He needs to
Versus
still be on
Tiger. I want Poulter versus Tiger.
There's no
2024.
way. Oh, as captains.
Yeah.
That should be the tiebreak, by the way. The captains have
No,
to play each
Phil
other.
versus Poulter 2024.
That's
at
pretty good.
Bethpage. That's what I want. Captains. Phil versus Poulter 2024 in New York State.
We'll get back to Tony and
I'm just excited. It's going to end. They're both winning.
they're both gonna win.
Yeah, of course. It can't not happen. I love them both. Big and little.
How many second place finishes for both these guys combined this year?
Oh, Tony will have more. I don't doubt that.
Can you explain to people who may be watching the show for the first time, which would be really weird?
Yeah.
But I mean, thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully, you stick with us through the season. But pulling a Finau, what that is?
Oh, it's peak Finau.
Peak Finau.
It's actually pretty simple. You hit like a that 7 is crazy. You hit like a 38-foot sideways putt for eagle to put you within one of the lead. And then you go to a par 3 and you stick it to 6 feet and you don't even touch the cup. Peak Finau.
Happens every week.
It happens.
Or parring a really easy
Yeah.
par 5 where he's on it too.
Was it? Where was it?
It was Riviera. It was Riviera.
Pat, they were the easiest par 5s on tour. He didn't birdie any of them. That was so painful. And Bubba won. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just so into big and little. And I'm into my narrative.
So my 1.5, just because we talked about him like 5 times and didn't bring him up. And I said I had a kind of a career flip on him.
Phil?
I just like what Phil is.
Obnoxious.
Phil is so past being good now. I'm kind of glad that he got the win last year, but his self-awareness level is now through the roof, and he's actually having fun with it, and I enjoy it.
So he's like the PGA Tour mascot.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
He's fun.
No, I've also...
He's cheating on the course. He's trying to make bets with people. He's just...
No, and I like with the commercial and like he's Chichi Rodriguezing and like birdies now.
Yeah, like it's
'cause
great.
they're dancing. Sure.
He knows like getting the win for him this year was huge.
Big.
Yeah.
I was happy for him, even though we like to throw shade.
I said ever since everyone turned on him at the U.S. Open, and I thought it was genius when he started hitting putts that were still rolling, that I'm kind of in now. Anyway, my #1 player of the year. He made your list, right?
Yeah, he was my number 6.
He was your number 6. My favorite player on tour, Bryson DeChambeau. Do people like or hate Bryson? I can't figure it out.
I think they like him.
Do they? Because it seems like he's sort of villainous. Because people get really like, Cuss gets super aggravated by Bryson, the fact he's bringing compasses onto the course and he wants to putt with the pin in. Like, how dare he besmirch the rules of golf?
If you hate him, you just better be aware of his trajectory. Like, he has done things that
He's-
Jack and Tiger did. Like, through amateur, that is...
Have
I'm
you-
not saying he's them, but he is in
He had 4 or 5 wins now.
He's in a
4.
super elite group. John Deere.
In 3 this year.
Yeah.
Major's coming. He's like, Omar. Who gets a major first, Bryson or Ricky? probably Bryson.
Bryce.
Bryson would have better odds, right?
Listen, I'm not taking the Bryson versus Ricky bets. I got a lot of like golf Twitter better hit me up. Like if Spieth wins a major, I'll be sending PayPals for days. But if Rahm or Ricky win that major before Spieth wins the major, people are sending me PayPals for days.
I can see Rahm before Ricky or Rahm before Spieth. But there's not really much more to say about Bryson is that he's getting progressively better. I like when he's out of tournaments that he battles anyway and works on things. We saw this at Bridgestone. And that really kind of set him up for the rest of the year. Like he was so bad. And it was a bad run for him because he withdrew from John Deere because he had the shoulder injury. Went over, made the cut at the British Open, and didn't skip Canada, came back and played Bridgestone. He was really, really bad the first round. And then he just kind of progressively got better and better and better. And I like the way that anytime the strategy plays a factor in a course, he should be the favorite. We even saw it at Heritage last year. It was one bad hole that he didn't win Heritage. He ended up coming third.
Yeah.
He finished a stroke out of the playoffs. He took like a 9 on a par 5. And if he hadn't done that, he would have won by 3. I know you can say that for a lot of people, but that's just so atypical of him. But that's a course where I know if I hit it here, the probability of me getting to the hole is here. Like I need to be on the right side here, whether I'm in the rough or whether I'm anywhere. Any course where angles really come into play, or any, like you've always said, any course that you can play on a simulator, Bryson's got an advantage on you.
And the thing with Bryson is we're all like calling, like even I think Baroff started it and I caught on quick, like summer of Bryson. It got off to like a bit of a sketchy start. And then there was the incident, I think before he won in Europe.
Yeah, when he melted down at the Porsche Open.
Didn't shake Buddy's
He's
hand.
pissed. People don't like that about him either.
You know, and then that like clips of him on the range at the Open, like spazzing when he's just by himself hitting balls. But he's gonna grind for you. And people got so mad at us when he missed the cut at was it the PGA?
Yeah.
And then he won like the next one.
And we stayed with him.
And we
cashed our bet.
Yeah,
we cashed a bigger bet on him.
Like he's angry. Like, no, this is gonna work.
It's all putting with him. If he can get his putting stroke down, and we've seen him. I mean, he has 4 wins in the past 2 years. That when he starts locking in those like 8-foot putts and they're just rolling in the center of the cup, he's the guy to beat.
Okay, can I rapid fire some questions at you?
Let's hit me.
Almost like you guys do the Sundays.
Are people going to be banned for life because their questions are so bad? Like
if you want them to be.
Okay.
Which young golfer will have the most inflated odds this year?
It's Champ.
He's 40 to 1 to win the Masters, right?
Yeah.
So that's
it would have been Neiman if Champ didn't come around.
Auto bet Spieth or Neiman.
For what?
Yeah, all year. I mean,
Spieth's going to be 15 to 1 to win every tournament. Neiman's going to be it's
35.
I think if Neiman is over 40 to 1 at any tournament, he is an auto bet because I think that he wins this year.
Is Pat mentally prepared for another winless, Lukeless season?
Oh, of course. As long as he keeps cashing those top 5 checks, I'm good.
Who, if anyone, do you see getting their first win this year, excluding anyone whose last name rhymes with Willie Beeman? I guess Luke List.
Luke List would probably be the next man up, right? Now the Champ's won.
How well do you expect Jordan to rebound this year?
Would Tommy Fleetwood qualify?
So that's like an
no,
asterisk. Because even just like Kiradish qualify, if they've won European Tour events, to me, that doesn't really count.
Especially because Fleetwood's won like the Dubai ones.
Yeah, because like Noren winning would be his first
win. He has, like,
so would Hatton's.
Yeah. Those guys have won.
Who wins first? Big or little?
I think Big wins before Little. I think Finau wins before Ricky does.
Okay.
But with Spieth, I mean, we've talked about Spieth enough on this show. I think this is not that what did we bet? Tiger versus Spieth wins?
Yeah, total season wins,
but,
which might be a bit, you might have timmed me.
But I just think that whenever people are down on Spieth, that's the time to buy. Whenever people are high on Spieth, that's the time to fade.
Also, wasn't there an event like this year, like Justin Thomas, like winning like 25 to 1? People were like, what the hell just happened? And he won, right?
That was Bridgestone, I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
I was on vacation that week.
Yeah. Who's winning Rookie of the Year?
Champ's out to a hot start. Sung Jae Im's in the mix.
Burns played last year?
I think Burns is technically a rookie this year.
How would you tackle the Open anti-post? Not much course form to go off. We spoke about the.
I think I need to learn more about the course for one thing. Like, what's the par? How long are the par threes? What's the wind generally like at that spot? Once we get that, I think we can kind of narrow it down.
Optimal pairing for Sam Darnold at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
It would have to be Matt Kuchar. Although you said Matt Kuchar can prank you, and that would really trigger Sam Darnold. So it'd have to be someone who's even nicer. Jordan Spieth. That way they just wouldn't talk.
Early calls for regression. Molinari, Rose with equipment. Anyone come? Yeah.
Rose with equipment is big. The one thing about the Molinari regression is like, what do you expect him to regress to? Like the fact that he won Wentworth, another tournament, and a major. Yeah, he's not going to do that again. I wouldn't call that regression, though.
I guess what
he was still a bottom 10 putter on tour. As long as he keeps his ball striking up, he's going to be really good again.
See, this is, I guess, shows you how overrated Tiger is. Like, who wins more, Tiger or Bryson?
It's Bryson.
Yeah.
Like
it's not even a.
I mean, I bet you the odds on that would be even if you had to bet it. Like if a book offered it. But what do you think the true odds would be?
I would take Bryson 98 out of 100.
But like minus what to bet Bryson? When does it get too big? Like what would be a fair minus 250?
I wouldn't want to have to lay that, but I still think.
Like if you were setting the odds,
I'm very confident that he does it. So yeah, minus like 180, 200, I guess. Like I'm very confident Bryson wins more than Tiger Woods. Like very.
I would agree. And
I don't even think that might even be a bet. I bet you if the books wouldn't give you a pick 'em.
People love to bet Tiger. Anything. Tiger's the favorite at all these majors.
Is Siwoo still an auto bet every tournament?
Anytime that he is 60 to 1 or more, yes.
How much controversy will the new rules create, i.e. Bryson putting with the flag stick?
I don't care. Like
Bryson's just going to putt accordingly. He's going to putt. He's not putting for the ball to roll in the front of the cup if he's keeping the flag stick in.
Well, here's the sneaky thing about it, is that people are going to try to start copying Bryson. So if Bryson starts putting with the pin in, people think, wow, that must be an advantage. I'll start putting with the pin in too. And if it speeds up, that it's designed to speed everything up. I think that's what it is. I'm not a golf purist like people get so fucking uppity about like golf rules. Like who fucking cares? Do you?
Sometimes, because I was really mad when Phil did his thing, and I was also kind of really mad when Bryson didn't shake the guy's hand.
Fuck that. They can do what they want. It's sports.
How many?
It's funny. Like people get very triggered by Bryson not shaking some guy's hand, but guys in the NBA, if they shake hands after the game, well, they're not real competitors. So which fucking way is it?
Very good point.
Like, are you competitive? You want your guys to be competitive, so they're pissed if they lose? No, we want them to be happy when they lose. But if they're happy when they lose, now, he didn't take it seriously enough.
Least favorite golf Twitter quality?
The Thursday tilting is my single. I actively, because I tilt on Thursdays too, but I will not outwardly put that public unless I'm tilting about a first round leader bet, which is contained to that day. It's not my guy bogeyed the first hole and I'm like losing my mind. Like fuck that guy.
I won't even if it's an optimal Thursday for me, like with working and busy. I don't even want to look at that leaderboard till like 2:30 in the afternoon.
And you and I always do the same
I
thing.
Go
we scroll to the bottom without looking at the top.
I cover the page and I go to the bottom and every name is relief. I'll also say the most annoying quality. And there's two that stick out from last year. When a player is acting bravos on a Tuesday or Wednesday, like Patrick Reed told a reporter he's here to win, or Bryson was insulted that a room was empty and he's like, I'm winning. And people run to bet the guy as if Dustin Johnson doesn't want to win.
Yeah, or if Bryson didn't show up to win anyway.
Or if everyone else just doesn't no, you're insane. Right?
And we all fall into these traps. Yeah, I'm not saying
I'm a mental midget.
We're inside the box on this one too, but the Thursday tilting really pisses me off. Or the people that tout their winner after Saturday.
Oh.
It's don't do that. Be like, hey, we got some runners. Let's close with a good Sunday here. Look how smart I am. I have the guy winning by 2 on Friday. Oh, congratulations, man. Yeah. Wait for that to lose. Then I actively root against those people. If I follow them, they get unfollowed, and if they tweet at me, they get muted.
Will Justin Rose iron change be positive or negative?
Probably negative.
Probably negative. Segment dedicated. All I ask is we're not mean to Finau. We all like Finau.
Yeah, no one dislikes Finau.
He's just now over. The betting, the market on him is crazy, right?
I think that they need to make his odds to win what they are, so they hedge themselves in the top 10 mark. Because if you did bet him top 10 every tournament, you'd be winning a ton of money.
That's a fair point. More people asking big versus little. Comeback player of the year.
Hideki?
Okay. What about
Stenson?
Long season sleeper. Does Kuchar count?
Kuchar and Snedeker could have kind of nice years, almost like Webb had last year. Danny Willett could be comeback player of the year.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's going to play enough PGA.
Who could be a season-long sleeper? Keith. I think Keith could get a win. And he's sort of been bumped to the side because of the Niemans and the champs, but he's just a young bomber who played pretty well last year. Guy can't putt, but he falls in sort of like the same Luke List camp. He's not as good as Luke List because he has no short game, but I feel like if you get him at like a career builder or something like that, he can compete.
What about, oh no, you'll just insult him.
Who?
Lahiri
had a good year, but I just don't understand how he does it.
Will Spieth make East Lake? Is he broken shit and we're all finally realizing it, or is he ready to bounce back? It's no either, like in the middle, right? Like, I don't know.
Listen, if the bet is will Spieth finish in the top 30 of FedEx Cup points this year, I'd say that you would have to lay like minus 1,000 to bet yes. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like he's so washed up. Like Patton Kazire can make East Lake. Like you think that's going to happen 2 years in a row? I think there's a motivation factor for Spieth here, and he does seem like a guy who would perform well with some motivation.
This is an interesting question. Do you think we'll see tougher course setups given
Hope so.
the Ryder Cup performances, and to avoid the bomb and gouging?
No, I think that they go the other way.
They want them to come. They want them to be happy. Like you mentioned, so many of these places are just resort courses that get made more difficult when these guys are coming,
but not substantially so. And even the former hard courses are getting easier.
Yeah.
Like viewers tune in to see not necessarily shoot like minus 30 because that becomes a bit much. But what do you think the optimal winning score is? If you're like obviously at the U.S. Open they want it to be around even, but that's
I like the 8s to 12s are kind of like the
12 is a good number because that means it was fair, you could score, but it was also difficult enough that no one like ran away with it.
Yeah. Most cursed player of 2019.
Right now, it's setting up to be Cameron Champ. Although Tim has never seen him take a shot. He saw people on Twitter like Cameron Champ, so he thought he'd follow along.
Breakout young golfer under 25, older over 35.
Breakout golfer under 25. See Woo Cam. Jon Rahm. Would those be considered breakouts? Like you have your Niemans, your Burns, your Cameron Champs, those guys, I guess.
All right,
How old's Bryson?
We'll do a couple
How
more.
old's Bryson?
I don't know.
Bryson's not 25, is he?
Probably not. No. I don't think so.
He might be 25. Let's see. Yeah, he just turned 25.
More likely to continue in 19. Tiger Woods a contender or Spieth decline?
I would say that Tiger contender would be less likely because I think that Spieth's going to normalize a little bit.
How many strokes will Rory win the Masters by?
Hopefully he'll be up by 10 going into Sunday and everyone will brag they had Rory and then he'll blow it somehow.
A lot of Luke lists. What would you shoot at Augusta in Masters conditions? 160. I don't know. 140.
Yeah, 140,
Yeah.
130. I actually don't know. I assume it wouldn't be good, put it that way.
Which new PGA Tour web.com player will have the best year? I don't know. M and Burns.
Champ.
M Burns champ.
Denny McCarthy.
Will X win a major?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess like the easy answer is no, but
I just really think his short game is so bad.
I saw a piece on him where he had such a good rookie year, and then people forget, Pat, how amazing it is when you have a good rookie year, but you didn't get like everywhere. But your second year, you're like invited to the Masters, and you're in WGCs,
and then you don't play the Greenbrier
anymore. That is
anymore.
essentially like someone who's close to Xander explained to me, like he almost had like a second. That's almost another rookie year.
Now you're playing with the big boys.
Yeah, you're in Masters, you're in WGCs. Like it's almost like a completely new experience from what your rookie year was. And it'll be exciting to see now that he has both of those under his belt.
I got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
Is this the year that we're done with Patrick Rogers and Jamie Lovemark? Can we just not bet them ever again?
I'm more in favor of Lovemark than Rogers, but I'm happy to cross them both off.
Who's the best Canadian player on tour this year? Does Hadwin rebound?
His world ranking is still the highest.
And he started getting it back together a little bit towards the second half of the year. Will we ever see Graham DeLette again? I hope so too. I Graham.
hope so.
I like the Nick Taylors, the Svensons. Who are the other guys? Corey Connors.
There's the kid from Thornhill. Silverman. Oh, is that Svensson?
No, there's Adam Svensson, but your buddy Ben Silverman, the Hebrew Hammer.
Hearn, Connors.
Oh, yeah, Hearn. I always forget
Nick
about
Taylor.
Hearn.
I don't know.
We need a good Canadian player.
Will a Canadian make the President's Cup? Probably not.
Hadwin has the best shot. Although if Willett comes back and storms the field, he was great at the President's Cup last time he played.
Yeah, him and somebody.
Him and Day were a team.
Day.
You let Day do all the putting, and let Graham do all the ball striking. What's the President's Cup team going to look like? Leishman, Scott, Day,
Cam Smith,
maybe like Danny Lee,
Hideki,
Siwoo probably, Ann probably,
Grace, Louis, Fertelli, Schwartzel, Stone. I'm just sort of naming South Africans.
Grace,
Grillo. Someone else from down there?
Louis.
Neiman.
We might get like a Eric. No, is he Dutch?
Who?
Van Rooyen? Or is he South African?
South African.
So he's in the mix. Fertelli's in the mix. It's not going to be a good team.
No, your boy, Kodiara.
Oh, Kadira.
Sanjay, the guy everyone wants to see swing.
So, yeah, Ho Sung Choi. Get him in there. Yeah, it's rough treading for the world team. We needed another good Canadian player. Like, the fact that Mike Weir is the best player we've ever had, who was good, but...
Yeah, it sucks.
People golf in Canada. It's not like people don't golf. And people
don't
play
know.
hockey, and that like the best professional athletes that are also good at golf are hockey players.
Well, you don't accept Brooke Henderson.
Well, that's also women's golf. You want to put her on the fucking President's Cup team?
The team, maybe to spice it up, women, that would make the Asian, the South Korean
Yeah,
women.
I think we'd take some South Koreans before we
South
took Brooke
Korean
Henderson.
women would make it a competitive thing. Barn Rat.
Burn Rats, and maybe
Gets to play.
that's why he's playing on the PGA Tour, to build up President's Cup points.
I don't know. Is there a new captain or is it still Nick Price and his buddy Brandon DeJong?
Brandon DeJong! I have no idea. Mike Weir's probably the captain.
I think Tiger's the captain.
What?
Yeah,
Tiger probably
they
be on the
sent,
team?
he was sent wherever it is. He went for like an early scouting trip or like a promotional.
Is
thing.
he not going to be on the team?
Well, he will be on the team, but he's a captain. He's
Can
the
you
captain.
be the player captain? Has that ever happened?
I guess maybe they'll switch it. They would have already because he's done enough to warrant.
Yeah, he's
a
probably on the
switch.
team already. All right, that'll do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. Players that we're excited about
Yeah.
for 2019. If you want to get into a draw for 20 DK bucks, leave your DraftKings handle after hitting the like button on this video and telling me the 3 players you're most excited about for the 2019 season. You look like you have something to say,
I
Peachy.
do, and I never listen to this. Join the One and Done, which I do listen to, and just use the good players.
Should we do that before the season? Maybe we'll run through
Okay.
golf betting and the one and done.
Okay, fine.
And give some strategy.
I'm the guy that uses like Chesson Hadley.
You know who did the best in the one and done? Paul, behind the camera.
Yeah, the guy behind the camera.
Paul, what was your strategy?
Everybody.
Oh, use this. He had Ricky for the finals
Just
tournament
everybody.
and use studs every
Full
week.
like you have your foot on the gas.
Don't get
the
too
whole
tricky.
time.
Just use the good guys. I will say, and we'll talk about this if we actually do a one and done strategy. And I'm shit at one and done, so you probably don't want to listen to a
I've
fuck
never
Fleet.
done well.
But the times I've had the most success and then I get away with it is look at the odds for the tournament. Look who the top 5 guys are in odds and take the guy that no one else is taking. That's actually the move.
Yeah.
He has a great chance of winning and no one's using him. Perfect.
The underrated elite is I think what we called it.
In the first year when Esser did the one and done, I remember he had the lone wolf rule where you got double the winnings if only one person took him. I had Sergio when he won at Byron Nelson and no one else took him. He was the second highest in odds that week and no one used him besides me. I didn't even like him. I was like, no one's going to use this guy. I'll use him. He won. I got like $3 million
That's
for
when he
his win.
ruined Brooks for Lily.
That is. No, that was at St. Jude.
Oh yeah. Okay, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go on an early limb and I'll steal from you. Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Reed are winning in Kapalua.
They can't both win.
One of them.
One of them is
Yeah,
going to win.
Yeah.
We're not going to take Michael Kim.
I won't be.
You're not gonna take...
Potter.
Potter's going to be there. Your buddy Hainzer.
Yeah.
Rory's playing for the first time ever.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have an entire TOC show.
All right.
If you want to get into the draw to win a free entry into that one and done at gupscorner.com, you can just go sign up for it right now. I'm going to go do that right after we stop the show, after I bet Tyrrell Hatton to win, what was it, the U.S. Open or the Open Championship?
I think both, but I think you more attracted to Pebble. But I think his game, dominant, world-class, maybe the best links player alive today.
So Hatton for the U.S. Open.
Yeah, and then I think you should just also play the Open.
And it's actually not going to matter when Bryson wins all 4 majors. The Bryson Slam.
I betting Bryson to win all 4 majors, you're probably gonna come away with one.
Hope
I don't know what the anytime Bryson major pays. Probably not enough.
Those bets are always just terrible bets.
Yeah.
But if you want to get into a draw to get a free entry into the Gups Corner one and done, or the really valuable, and try to add to the 2.3 million won last year on Fantasy National, a yearly membership to Fantasy National, what you do is you share the show on social media. You do not quote tweet. You quote tweet, you're disqualified.
Banned for life.
Banned for life. Never win another draw, and I'm going to try to make it so you can never watch the show again. Pissing me off. Definitely blocked, for sure. You'll never be able to see any tweets, which is probably for the better. But you can retweet the show and then reply with the hashtag GUP if you want to get in that contest, or reply with the hashtag Fantasy National. You do it twice, you reply twice, you're in both draws. Do as many times as you want. But I need those hashtags to keep track of the things. That's why the hashtag is important. You can do it on Facebook as well. You can do it on Instagram if you'd like. But just share the show around. Get people pumped. Go tell a friend about the Pat Mayo experience, too.
And the one and done.
And the one and done. Yeah, the one and done is going to be fun. I'm going to win this year.
Oh, I'd love to win this year.
I'm going to retire. I'll never do the show again.
First place in that thing.
It's not retirement money, but it's good. And shout out to Josh for putting that all together, too. That must be a fuckload of time. Something I really would want to do.
No. Full credit to all those guys.
Do you think that, now that DraftKings has a sports book, I'm surprised they don't run these types of tournaments. Aren't you?
A little bit.
Because you think they would have the software in place to run it. They just don't care.
Do you have got one hot take for the year? I said Bo Hostler's going to win more than Jordan.
Spieth.
You got something?
I think that Killer Keith Mitchell wins an event this year. It might be Puerto Rico, but he's going to win one.
But as long as he hits you 3 first-round leaders, you're gold.
That's the bet. I mean, when we talk about the betting, you could make a case that if you only played first-round leaders, I would be a more profitable bettor.
I think so.
It's the softest market in all of sports. First-round leader bets in golf. But I'll dive into that more if we do a preview for that. We'll be back for TOC. Thank you all for watching this show. You can watch the season preview. That's in the description. We're going to be back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with some golf. It's not like football is going anywhere either. We got football playoffs. We're going to be talking about that as well. But we're excited for the golf season. I hope you're excited for the golf season. And let me know if you are or not. Like I said, all those draws, it's all good fun. And I'm here to chat about golf on Twitter and Facebook. Not so much Facebook because someone else runs that for me. But hey, on the Twitters, I'll be there and we can chat about golf. All right? Become a member of fantasynational.com today. It's a great gift or something to use your Christmas monies on. If you spend more than $4 a week on DraftKings, you might want to get Fantasy National. Just a tip. I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!